I'm on the way to Kitima Mulilo border between coming out of Namibia and heading towards Zambia, but through Botswana, because the M10 road from Namibia entering directly into Zambia is atrocious, and so everyone goes on the B8 and you do a bit of a detour for a day into Botswana, and you then enter Zambia effectively via Botswana. But I thought I'd be smart this morning on the way there, because I've got time, and pop to the local clinic to get my first Astra Zeneca COVID vaccine. So I typed in my Tracks for Africa GPS and a local clinic. It said 4 kilometers away on gravel road. Oh, my poor car. And so I thought I'll take the mini detour and head towards the local clinic. Often the rural clinics, you can literally walk in and 5 minutes later you walk out having had your injection. But this is rough, and the sand is actually quite deep. I don't think anybody's been down this road with a vehicle in many years. The tracks, the spoor you can see on the ground is actually me, because I've turned around halfway, because at about the halfway mark it becomes, this road actually becomes a animal track, and then there's bush around. So I don't mind going into the bush and making my own path, but this is Namibia, dry, very dry, a lot of thorn trees and bushes and shrubs, and when they get knocked over by animals, then it goes on the ground and it'll go right through my tires, and then I'm stuck in the bush having to change tires or repair a puncture. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of an influenced kind of a journey. So I'm actually going a little bit at speed, only because I entered here thinking it was gravel road, and my tires are a little bit too hard for the soft sand. So if I go any slower, I'm actually going to get a little bit stuck, or have to stick it into diff lock on. And I'm playing slight dodgems with rather large tree trunks around. So yes, those of you that are watching and know about 4x4ing and sand driving, I'm sure you would be thinking, because I would be thinking this if I was watching this video, dude, stop your vehicle, lower your air pressure and be safe. Yes, but I don't know what is around me. So the simple answer is yes, theoretically that's exactly what I should do, but I don't know what wild animals there may be. It's a very, very small chance that there is anything around, but I am on my own and I'm not prepared to do that without another person to keep watch about movement in the surrounding bush, as it were. So I'm doing this, as you can hear the here we go, come on baby, you can do it, here we go. That's just the sand sucking the momentum out of the vehicle. And the great thing about this Toyota, it's the 2.8 litre manual. Oh yeah. Oh, goodbye paintwork. And it's a turbo diesel, but the turbo only kicks in at about 2,000 revs. And so Toyota have been very smart and building in something called the power button, and all that really does is it turns on electronically the turbo, which means your revs go up. Sure, your fuel consumption goes up a bit, but it's a very short period of time. It's only sort of 4 kilometers the stretch, and it, instead of the vehicle being sluggish when I'm playing around in the sand with the accelerator, and potentially the turbo not being on all the time, which I do need it to be on currently all the time, it just makes it a lot more responsive pushing the turbo button. But as you can maybe hear, it just, the sand is thick for the weight of my vehicle and the tire pressure, and you can see the traction control, struggling a bit. And that's fine, we just give it a little bit more juice. Play dodgems with a tree. Look, I've spent almost a year in this vehicle every single day, between 3 and 6 hours, so I know how the vehicle handles. That's not an excuse, but I wouldn't be doing this speed in this environment with somebody else's vehicle or with a vehicle I didn't know. Okay, GPS says 450 meters to go before I'm back on tar, which is not far, but in this environment, just keeping my wits about me. Okay, back to normal sand, as it were, hardened sand. Power button off, back into sand. Power button back on. And you just never know. In Mozambique, I destroyed a wheel rim and a tire going past a very low bush. What I thought was a tiny bush, like the one appearing now on the right hand side of your screen. Just this little bush like here, this green bush on the right hand side. And as I clipped it with the bush with my right wheel, didn't quite realize that somebody had cut down a large tree. There was a stump, sharpened edge of a stump, and that ripped the wheel. Right, back we are onto the national road, as it were. Kitima Mulila, chat later.